Welcome back to the FCK channel and our New Look News content. You can catch these videos here every single week. It's called FCK The News. Just hit like, subscribe and hit that bell for all the notifications for these videos. So, it is the dawn of the new Premier League season. Liverpool kick it off against Premier League new boys, Norwich City. As you can see, we're here at Carrow Road. We're going to be talking about who we think is going to win the title, how we think the new boys are going to do, and also a bit of transfer news. It's actually, as we speak, it's transfer deadline in about an hour. And as you can see, I'm joined by the FCK gaffer for today's show. Norwich City legend, of course, needs no introduction. But before we talk about Norwich City, because we'll be joined by some fans outside the ground in a little while, how do you reckon Norwich do this year?
Well, it's going to be tough. I think, people talk about the start of the season, how tough it's going to be against Liverpool. But for me, it's a good time to play them.
Sure?
As a play, no, I
what
think
if you lose 4-0?
No, really. Well, they could lose 4-0 now or 4-0 later on in the season. But for me, I think it's a good time to play them. Liverpool going to expect to win the game. It always takes a few games for the top teams to kind of get really into their stride at the start of a season. So if you're going to play them, I think it's a good time to play them now. Nobody doesn't really know too much about Norwich, the players they've got. There's only Tetty, I think, and Tim Krul that have played in the Premier League before. So, the expectations of the Norwich players don't know what to expect when they go to Anfield. It's going to be an occasion for everyone. And I think if Liverpool take it a little bit too casually, go into the game thinking they're going to win it quite comfortably, and Norwich are right at it, Norwich might still lose.
But just 2-1.
Yeah, exactly. But they know how tough it's going to be. But if ever you're going to get a result away at Anfield, I think the first game of the season is the one to try and do it.
Right. So we'll wait and see on that one. So we've got an Arsenal fan waiting for us outside, Liverpool fan, FCK presenter Ryan's going to join us, and some Norwich City fans. We'll talk about their transfer business. I'm a Leicester City fan. I see you've brought this along
kiss the badge, really.
With you today. This is my signed
memories.
Harry Maguire shirt.
Yeah.
Free to go to a good home. So if anyone would like this shirt, I'm open to offers. £80 million. No, that was how much Manchester United played for Harry Maguire. Norwich City's transfer business, though, not a lot. I mean, it's pretty rare for a newly promoted side to spend, less than £1 million?
Yeah, it really is. But I think all the noises were coming out of Carrow Road even before the transfer opened, even before Norwich got promoted, talking about if they got promoted, how they would approach the new season in the Premier League, and they've stuck by what they've said. They weren't going to go out and buy; they're going to reward the players that got them there, which I think is fantastic. A lot of teams don't do that, and traditionally, when Norwich have been in a lower league and got promoted into the top league, they have spent money. It's gone drastically wrong for them, and they've put the club in a financial position where they didn't want to be. So, I think they're doing the right thing, but 5 or 6 games into the season, expectations from the fans start to change a little bit. If you are losing games, questions will start to be asked. So it's a real difficult one, but I think they've got the balance right. I think they're rewarding the players that have got them there, deserve the opportunity to play in the Premier League. They haven't upset the kind of the dressing room with too many big names coming in, which has happened before. But we just hold tight and hope for the best. And that really is it for me. It's about just them going out there and enjoying what they're doing and being excited by every single game they go into and playing with no expectations.
So, Darren, as of recording, it's about 4 o'clock Thursday. Transfer deadline shuts in an hour. What I want to know, though, mate, is you as a former player, have you ever been involved in kind of deadline day madness, or perhaps some of your mates? And what is it like? Is it as mental as it is for us as fans watching it?
Yes, it is pretty mad. It depends, obviously, what kind of club you're at and what their position is in terms of... You look at a lot of the big clubs, they don't tend to do huge amounts of business on the deadline day. But there is a lot of frantic position about it. And it tends to be the players know already. They know they're going to be moving on. They've spoken to the
Have you ever been sat there on deadline day waiting for the phone to go, or do you turn the phone off?
Yeah, fortunately not. I don't. You've heard of players waiting around training grounds, haven't you, to be signed up before they actually have left the club they have.
That is Peter Odemwingie.
Yeah,
more famous for that incident in his car than actually anything he did as a footballer.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it is a tough time. But you hope that your agents and the club are able to sort things out. But I think it's become part of the game now. Players don't really know where they're going to be until the end of deadline day. And, unless you are regular in that team, there is a chance you could be moving on at any time, and you will get a few kind of deals floating in really late. Not so much anymore. I think when the transfer deadline started, I think those kind of deals and deadline day deals is a massive thing. Yeah. I think it's settled down a little bit now, and people are trying to do their business before then.
Right then, so let's head outside. You've got your own brick, haven't you, here at Norwich City? His own brick. He is a Norwich City Hall of Famer. We're going to go out and find your brick, and we're going to speak to some fans. We've got Ryan, FCK presenter, a couple of Norwich fans, and also an Arsenal fan waiting for us. So let's go. Right then, so we've made our way outside South Stand here at Carrow Road. Darren Eadie is still here, outside his brick, just point to it. Hall of Famer. I'm sure he's let you know that before. We've got some fans, Norwich City fans, Liverpool fan, Arsenal fan. Simon's also got his brick. Where is it? There we are. Not quite a Hall of Famer, mate, but you're here. Your name is on the stadium. We'll start with Norwich then, shall we, Simon? We'll start with you. How are you going to do next season? Really, really easy one for you. Going to stay up?
We are going to stay up. Yeah, I'm confident of that. We've got enough in the squad, I think. We've got enough attack in there. We're gonna ship plenty of goals. We'll expect that, I think.
Well, you're openly saying you're going to ship loads of goals.
That's no,
but you're going to be fine.
Secret across the Premier League is that we are going to ship some goals because of the way we play. We've got the fullbacks pressing on the whole time. Everyone's going.
I've maybe signed some defenders.
Everyone's looking forward. We'll worry about that in the next transfer window. There's always the next transfer window to look at them. But no, we've got some great defenders in there as well. We've got Max Aarons, Jamal Lewis. They're very strong defenders as well as going forwards. So I think we're going to be better than the 3 other teams.
Right.
That's a good way of looking at it.
You're going to ship loads of goals. Last year, did you score more goals than anyone else last season? Is that right? Yeah, you did. So you've got Ono Hernandez, Emi Buendia, Timu Pukki, Stiepermann, the Norfolk Pogba, isn't it? Is that what we call him? Have I just made that up? I've read that somewhere. No, I've read that somewhere. That's the thing, innit?
No, definitely. These are all players. These are all players that were expected to do nothing last season either. So the expectations weren't there to get promoted. So for this season, I think it's going to be a case of see what they've got. No pressure on them. They've got no expectations of players either because they've never played there before. I think there's only Tim Krul and Alex Tetty that have played in the Premier League. So they're going to go at it with no fear. And I know they haven't spent much money, but I like the fact that they've rewarded the team with extra contracts, long contracts, so if they do go back down again, they've still got those players on board. But also, they've given them the opportunity to express themselves in the Premier League, and they deserve that. I like that. I really like it. Because when we spent money before, it's all gone tits up.
Yeah. Right. Mike to Spud.
Spud. I'm convinced because we've got scores all through the team, and yes, we are going to concede a lot of goals. But if you look at the players we've got, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people, and they're going to recognise what quality players we have got. Because we just mentioned Stiepermann, Franchik is another quality player. Windare, no one's probably heard of him a year ago. They're going to know about all these players soon, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people.
Question, Timu Pukki. We're talking once again about being able to score the goals. 30 odd, was it last year? Player of the year in the Championship. Free transfer, like Norwich fans like to tell everyone. It was a brilliant signing, and he is class. And he scored goals for Finland. But playing in the Premier League, it's a completely different kettle of fish, isn't it? If he scores you, 10 to 15, you're probably all right. Is it that important?
Yeah, I think he will. He will score that many, or maybe even more, because his turn of pace is incredible. He gets that extra yard all the time, and we've got the quality around him to feed those balls through. And I don't think that's going to change too much in the Premier League. The quality of defenders is better, but he's still going to be making these very clever runs that he makes. So I don't think there'll be no problem in Timu Pukki scoring goals, and we've got enough around him to chip in as well with the extras to get us through. So he'll be a quality Premier League player, I think.
All right, we shall wait and see. I've got a bet with a couple of people. I'm not going to say it on camera what exactly I've bet because these things tend to bite you on the backside.
What have you bet?
Well,
the
bet does involve my backside and a tattoo and Timu Pukki and a number of goals he may score next season. I'm saying if Timu Pukki, I'm actually going to do this. If Timu Pukki gets 10 Premier League goals next season, I shall get a tattoo.
You may as well go now.
Of Timu Pukki on my right bum cheek. Okay. Well, I've said it now on camera. It's there. God, that was a mistake, wasn't it? Let's move swiftly away from my backside and Timu Pukki. Liverpool, Ryan, it's your club.
Yeah.
What was it, 96 points last year?
Yeah.
Did you know, by the way?
Not quite enough, was it?
Every single season that Man United won the Premier League under Sir Alex Ferguson, you would have won the league with 96 points. How does that feel?
It feels awful. It really does. I mean, to get so close, like it was 1 point, one measly point, and I can think of the games throughout the season. You're like 1 point.
Drew with Leicester at Anfield.
Yeah, exactly. 1-1, wasn't it? Yeah. I think that was like 8 games to go, or no? Yeah, something like 6 games to go. But heartbreaking. We played so well.
Yeah, but look, mate, this summer, Man City have not spent loads. They've brought in a few. They've brought in Cancelo, Portuguese right back. I mean, that's about 100 million quid when you bear in mind Danilo's gone the other way. Signed Rodri. Liverpool done nothing. Signed 2 teenagers. Yeah, well, so tell me how you're going to be better than Man City next season.
Well, they have spent like 135 million on them 2 players. As you say, we bought like 2 boys who are still hitting puberty. So we still have to manage with tantrums. But listen, Jurgen Klopp is basically saying, okay, when you have a car, okay,
there might not be anything wrong with the car, but you will want that flashy, extra sexy car. You get the new car, then it breaks down 2 weeks later and you have to go and fix it. There's nothing wrong with our car. Our car's got a perfectly good engine. We've got great players. We've got a great team. Naby Keita last year was adopted into the squad. He's coming like this is his first proper season. So we've got all the play. We don't really need anyone. I mean, can you think of anyone off the top of your head who we really desperately need? We've got
A centre half for me.
Look, I don't think you need anyone, but for me, this year, this has been the year I'd cash in on Mo Salah. I think he's had 2 great seasons, but watching him play, watching him play the other night, it's so greedy. Every time he gets the ball, he shoots from anywhere, which is great when it comes off, but you're not going to get away with it all the time. Players have worked him out now a little bit, and I think he ain't going to struggle, but he's certainly not the player he was. I think that had been the time to cash in on him and get some big players in on the back of that.
Yeah, I think Salah obviously did have that.
I would have had him at Leicester.
That yeah, mate. Yeah, you can chat about that to the tattoo parlour when he's doing your arse.
If we sign Mo Salah, I'll get his face tattooed on my backside.
Get one.
I've only got 2
of
cheeks.
I'm
I'm running out of cheeks here. I've got to start betting.
Do your actual cheeks. Yeah, no, I think the only I kind of would like Coutinho, but again, I don't know if he'd fit in. I mean, I am really happy with what we've got. You know, we've got a trophy, we've got a good, fit, healthy squad, and yeah, I think we'll be challenging for the league definitely this year. I'll tell you what, right? Okay,
Are you doing a bet? Are you offering up a backside?
I'll do a bet. Okay, I'll offer a backside. Right. If we don't win the league,
Wow. Right? Bearing in mind, you've never won the league.
Right. Okay.
The Premier League.
Right. Yeah. We've never won the league. Right. This is only because I'm about banter. Right. If we don't win the league, I'll get your name tattooed on my arse.
I absolutely love that. Right. I've just suddenly become a Liverpool fan. Right, that's enough from you. Chris, come in, my friend. Yep. You just mentioned Philippe Coutinho. He linked with Arsenal.
Yep.
Weirdly, at the start of the transfer window, we were told Arsenal had 50 million quid. Now, who's good at maths here? Anyone? Right, 72 million pounds on Nicolas Pepe. So first of all, we've already gone over 50. Yeah. I think you spent 15 million on the loan fee for Dani Ceballos. Yeah. William Saliba, centre defender. Yep. You haven't got him for another year, keeping him there. 27 million. Is Martinelli, the Brazilian striker, I think about 6 million. 6 million, yeah. Who else have we done? David Luiz is going to come through today. We think transfer deadline day at the moment about 8 million quid, 10 million quid. Yeah. Anyone else? Have I missed anyone else?
And then potentially Kieran Tierney today as well.
Oh yeah, Kieran Tierney, 25 million quid. Yeah. So, right, that's definitely more than 50 million quid. Yeah. So, Spuds, I trust his maths. So somebody's lied to us at the football club. What's going on?
Well, I think Josh Kroenke, the son of Stan Kroenke, the owner, come out and said not so long ago that we've got a Champions League budget or a Champions League salary, more or less, on a Europa League budget. That's what we've got. We've had to ship quite a few players out. Koscielny, Carl Jenkinson's gone in recent days, amongst others. And I think, look, when we talk about the size of Arsenal Football Club, it was always
smaller than Spurs.
I'm not going to agree on that one, but see Darren Eadie celebrating in the corner of my eye there.
That was for you, Darren.
I just think it was taking those claims with a big pinch of salt, in my opinion. And I think it is, it's fair to say that quite a lot of transfers that are done nowadays are being paid in instalments. So I think we haven't paid that amount that was just mentioned just now this summer, but obviously that will build up to that final amount. So, Raul Sanllehi, our head of football, said before the summer that we needed to outsmart the market. And I think, picking up players, David Luiz, who will add quality and experience to the squad for 8 million, Kieran Tierney.
just on David Luiz.
And fantastic hair.
He's got fantastic hair. Yeah. But, well, it's hair that you remember. It remember.
For his football.
Well, this is my point. I'm not an Arsenal fan. But I can only imagine people just getting through a whole load of underwear, watching Mustafi and David Luiz playing centre-half with each other next season. I mean, it is a little bit terrifying, isn't it? I mean, they're good footballers, but they've got a mistake in them in each, every game.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I do agree with that, especially with Mustafi as well. For me, he's simply not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. He simply hasn't made the cut since he joined. But look, hopefully we can see maybe a David Luiz, Socrates partnership, or Rob Holden once he's back. They're definitely more solid than Mustafi. So we're building up a good experienced back line now that will add some quality as well. So look, we needed to bring in a centre back this summer. Look like we're finally doing that. We'll just have to wait and see how it pans out. There's unfortunately been quite a few players that have rather played for the name on the back rather than the badge on the front of the shirt. Obviously towards the end of Wenger's reign at the club, there was just too many things going wrong from board level right down to the management, right down to the players. But now there's been a shed load of changes at the board. Brought in former Invincible Edu Gaspar, who'll be our first ever technical director. Raul Sanyeli came in from Barcelona. New head coach, new staff, overall a new squad. I don't think there is a single player from the 2011, 2012 or 10 squad there now. It's all changed.
So it's really, Chris, in a word for me, because it's got to be, after last season, an improvement, which has got to be top 4. Yes or no, do you reckon you'll do it?
Just.
I think they will.
It was one word, to be fair. It wasn't the yes or no, but it was one word. Ryan, talk. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I think they will. I think Emery had a great start to the season, and then I think you were saying earlier on, 20 games unbeaten, and then obviously didn't kind of have the players to follow.
About 18 draws in there.
Well,
6 of them in Europa League.
Well, but I think they did play quite well. And there was a bit of motivation. I think earlier on in the season, people kind of started throwing Arsenal's name about as if they were title contenders, and then it just kind of fell away. But they are spending. They're going to reinforce their back line. So I don't know who's done the best business between Tottenham and Arsenal. That's kind of.
Arsenal for me. I'm not even being biased. I just simply think Arsenal, because we've got in Nicolas Pepe for £72 million, who was absolutely fantastic.
I think that front three of Pepe, Aubameyang, and Lacazette is about as good as Man City's and Liverpool's.
You look at the difference that Liverpool made by signing one defender, Van Dijk. Just it makes a massive difference, and we talked about that at Arsenal for so many years, and it's not happened. That can take the club from where they are and the players they've got to having a bit more of a solid defensive control thing, to being title contenders or being right up there. Without that, they still won't.
Let's just bring it back round then, lastly, to Norwich Liverpool.
Yeah.
Game is tonight, first game of the Premier League season. It's the worst kind of possible start, or is it the best, Simon?
Well, best for us, isn't it? Maybe not for the team, but it's a good start for us.
Give me a score prediction. What do you reckon? What do you reckon tonight?
Well, I've said we're going to score goals and ship goals all season, haven't I?
4-3 Liverpool.
No.
5-4.
Suarez is not playing, so we'll be fine. Ship.
Okay. It's the same difference.
Timu Pukki will score. We got him free, didn't know. 29
yeah,
goals last season.
Yeah,
we got
I've
him
heard.
free. And let's go 3-all, I think. Bit of a crazy start to the
Love that.
season,
Spud
but we'll have
and
a
View.
3-all.
Maybe not as much as confident as this young man, but I think we'll score.
Yeah.
It could be a now 2-1 defeat, or it could be something like 5-1.
Stuff. Right then. So let's end this very quickly. Look, I know you boys are going to say Norwich are going to stay up. Darren, Spurs hat on, please. Liverpool hat, Arsenal hat. Hands up if you think Norwich will get relegated this season. Is it a clean sweep? We're all saying Norwich are staying up.
Congratulations.
Well, there we are, chaps. I mean, the season can end now for Norwich City fans. So look, it's Norwich Liverpool tonight. Kicks off the Premier League season. These boys are all very confident Norwich will stay up, and we'll of course track it throughout the season on FCK The News.